Mount Union victorious in game one of our doubleheader, taking down Baldwin Wallace by a final of 5-1. They look to repeat the feat in game number two. It is the Purple Raiders and the Yellow Jackets up next on SmeeSports.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation! We will see you on Saturday afternoon! Riley Meister gets the point!
Back into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
This is another one. It's back-to-back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. He's the point, and it's alive. Hansen pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable. Good afternoon once again from Rafeld Rogers Field on the campus of the University of Mount Union. As today we have game two of our doubleheader between the Purple Raiders and the Yellow Jackets of Baldwin Wallace. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this afternoon live on SmeeSports. Due to technical difficulties on the end of Boxcast, we move the broadcast over here. You can catch game one by going back under the live tab after this game is over. Or on the Purple Raiders social media page, you can go and pick up the links there. As it was last game, I am on the PA again for this one, so you get a little bit of an encore performance of the PA announcing before the game. On the mound in game number two for your Purple Raiders, number 15, Angel Mendavilla. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 31, Sean Kolenich. Kolenich will get us underway in the box for the Yellow Jackets. The time is 3:54. Mendavilla fires, and we are underway. First pitch strike to Kolenich. 0-1 the count. Kolenich, a lot of good plays in game number one over at shortstop, but in the box he had some struggles. Angel sets and fires in the 0-1. A good spot, but not getting the call. 1-1 the count. A three-run second inning propelled Mount Union to victory in the last game. BW, they did get close. They had, I believe, the bases loaded, two down by two, and they weren't able to thread the needle and get someone home, and that ended up being their last opportunity to strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Mendavilla sets and fires. Chopped over to the right side, and the throw back to one is in time. A good cover from Mendavilla. Costella able to get it over, and we are underway with out number one. Kolenich unable to reach, but good communication over at first, as that was enough for out number one. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 45, Joey Marusik. And Marusik now steps in for the visitors on the scoreboard. The left fielder looking to have a good outing in game number two. 1-0 the count. From Mount Union last time out, defense was the name of their game. As I said, only 1 run allowed, and it was on an RBI walk. The pitch. Chopped highly right side. A good scoop at second. Whitty picks up Costella for out number 2. That is one way to flash the leather. A beaut by Whitty. I don't know how he got to that, especially with that good of timing. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 19, Mally Kilbane. Kilbane steps in the 3-hole, the first baseman for BW last game, and that is the parting line again in game two. It is a first pitch strike from Mendavilla, 0-1 the count. Mount Union looking stellar so far in game number two. Angel coming set. He fires. Cranked right side. Whitty gets it again on a knee. The throw 2-1 is in time. The Leather Boys get 3 outs in a row. 3 ground outs. 1 to first and 2 to second. Middle of 1 in Alliance. 0-0 your score. The Purple Raiders look to get their offense rolling when we return. Your attention. On the mound for Baldwin Wallace, number 43, Carson Wilcox. Now batting for Mount Union, number 21, Chris Viamonte. Mount Union getting ready to go in the home half of the first inning. This is OAC Baseball on SmeeSports. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening if you are just joining us. Wilcox's first pitch to Viamonte is slapped up the gut. A leadoff single for Chris Viamonte gets the offense rolling for the Purple Raiders. That's exactly what the doctor ordered on the first pitch. Now batting, number 40, Andrew Whitty. It's Whitty now stepping in, the second baseman. 2 putouts in the top of the frame. He looks to move his fellow teammate and fellow 1-2-3 hitter Viamonte along the base path. First pitch strike, a good low offering from Wilcox. No balls, 1 strike the count. And as was the case last time out, I will be on public address duties during this game along with being the play-by-play announcer. The pitch misses upstairs. It zips right past Whitty's face. 1 ball, 1 strike. BW last game, a lot of changes made. Almost surprised not to see Matt Mascarino on the mound, but we might see him later on in this game. Wilcox sets and fires. Whitty awkwardly chops it off the bat, foul. That's strike number 2 on the second baseman. Wilcox looking for out number 1. Whitty looking for yet another hit. The Purple Raiders dominant in game 1 in the hit department. The 1-2, it is low and a good snag behind the dish. That is Fix keeping it close. Fix behind the dish, Kilbane at first, Petreka at second, Kolenich at short, Tarquino at third, Marusik, Pensteris, and Jelpi from left to right in the outfield sets BW's defense. Another low bouncer as that one glides on in off the turf. And Whitty is in a very good spot. Still has 2 strikes on him, but he is battling back. Wilcox still looking for out number 1. Runner goes. Hit left side, and it is bobbled at third. A great full extension. The throw is not in time. It's an infield single for Whitty. Full extension from Tarquino, not enough. And now batting for Mount Union, number 2, Alex Stegman. Stegman now steps in for the Purple Raiders. As you see, we try and flow the PA into the actual broadcast, but it is not seamless every single time. But 2 on, no one out. Mount Union in a good spot. Stegman shows bunt, pulls back, and it is ball 1. But the Purple Raiders with a win here not only would improve to 10-0 in OAC play, they would also extend their winning ways to 13 straight games. Swing and a miss. A good idea from Stegman trying to get the low ball, but couldn't make contact. 1 ball, 1 strike, now the count. After Stegman, we will see Joe Leonard, the designated hitter. Chopped right side, bobbled off the first baseman, Kilbane's glove, and safe at first is Stegman. The bases are now loaded, and we will see Joe Leonard step in. Now batting for Mount Union, number 17, Joe Leonard. Bases juiced. Leonard last game had a 2 RBI single late on to seal the deal. He can get the offense off with a boom early on in this game, put the ball in play, and let the rest happen. Wilcox will fire it in. Fouled away. 0-1 the count on Leonard. After Leonard, we will see Chris Tesaurus, the right fielder, step back in. But Mount Union in a perfect spot as time is called. The catcher, Fix, will go and talk to his pitcher. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow afternoon on the campus of Archbishop Hoban High School, 5 p.m. first pitch as the Holy Name Green Wave makes the trip out to Akron to take on the Knights. We could see an ace versus ace battle depending on what happens today. In that case, it would be Karoff, the pitcher committed to Ashland, taking on Don Marchetta, a pitcher rumored to be going to Ashland. And in a shocking move, BW is making the call to the bullpen. 3 batters up, and Wilcox's day will be done. We will look to get eyes on who they are bringing in, but the bases load, and the Yellow Jackets are making some changes. We will see who it is. Number 13, and that is Mason Decker, the senior from Mid-Park. So this will be our second pitcher who's a senior who went to Mid-Park playing in today's doubleheader. Not too many, but it's weird that it happened twice. Either way, we will see Decker on the mound when we return. This is OAC Baseball on SmeeSports. Call to the bullpen has been made by Baldwin Wallace. And now it looks like we are going to be seeing Decker get something put on his wrist. Either way, Wilcox, 3 batters faced, 0-1 count. He gets pulled. The speculation is injury because that would be the only way that makes sense, but you never know. Bases loaded, 0-1 on Leonard. And I think, despite BW's best efforts, this is going to quickly turn into a bullpen game. It's going to have to at this point. Unless Decker can hum through 5 innings in a row of scoreless baseball, there's only so much that he can do. 0-1 the count on Leonard, and the submarine misses upstairs. The pitching style of Decker, pretty much the same as former Indians/Guardians pitcher Adam Simber. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. And it misses. 2-1 the count. A good miss at that from Decker. But very rare that we see a submarine pitcher. He goes again, and it misses off the plate. 3-1 the count. After Leonard, up steps Chris Tesaurus, the right fielder. Mount Union looking to strike first, and they might be able to do so by seeing a pitch fly by. And it is in there. We are full 3-2. A good get right from Decker. BW needs a strike here or Mount Union takes the lead potentially. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Decker dials in and retires Leonard for out number 1. That is how you respond to adversity. Now batting for Mount Union, number 9, Chris Tesaurus. Tesaurus now steps in the box. Bases still loaded, 1 down. And I think you're going to see the infield come in a little bit. Corners on the edge of the grass. Middle more towards the outfield grass. First pitch is low. A good block by Fix. 1-0 the count. We talked about the catchers Fix and Tome a lot in game 1. A lot of good blocks and a lot of good stops behind the dish. Both sides need to keep that going in game 2. 1-1 now the count as Decker sails that one in. But Baldwin Wallace, after a rough start on the mound from Wilcox, they need a steady arm. Just missing low. A good spot from Decker, and the movement from Fix on the frame may have been enough, but the home plate umpire says, no, sir. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Corners still in. The pitch. And it's in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mount Union, they need at least a run from this inning. And if they don't, then Decker might have his statue built tomorrow. Here's the 2-2. And it goes past. And the play at the plate is not going to happen. Villamonte on the down angle puts Mount Union on the board. That is how you run the bases. If it's a low pitch, you read that down angle and you take a base. Villamonte puts the Purple Raiders on the board. A little bit less pressure on Chris Tesaurus. But still 2 runners in scoring position. A chance to make it more. And on the payoff, it is outside. Ball 4. The base is loaded again. And now up steps the freshman catcher, Daniel Tome. Now batting for Mount Union, number 32, Daniel Tome. Tome in the box for the Purple Raiders. The freshman from St. Ed's. A lot of pedigree in that program. He knows how to win. St. Ed's, they are winners. And he has brought that over to Mount Union very nicely so far. First pitch outside, 1-0. I think for the rest of this frame, we are not going to see too many swings. My logic behind it, when you have that different arm slot, it is tough to time it up. You have to do a lot of practice to catch up to it, even on the fly. And part of that is mental reps. I know at least when I played, we were kind of told, lay back until you see a strike when you see a pitcher with a weird arm slot step on the mound. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch. It is low, 3-0 on Tome. Daniel looking for an easy 90, which would put Mount Union up by 2. 3 balls, no strikes. Decker sets and fires. And it is in there. A good get right from the pitcher. 3 balls, 1 strike. Mason Decker, he needs 2 more like that. Bases juiced, 1 down in the bottom of the first. The pitch. Thought about it, but leaves it. It is ball 4. Mount Union now on top, 2-0. Tome does his job, gets the easy 90, and we have another mound visit. I don't think we will see another pitching change, but the question is, since Wilcox threw 1 pitch to Leonard, would Leonard's at-bat count for Decker or not? Because you need 3. I don't know if that's even a conversation, but it could be if Costella does something nuts, his day's done too. You never know. Mount Union up 2-0. What an afternoon for the Purple Raiders. Their offense has looked really good so far. And against a team that preseason was favored to beat them in both games, they're doing one heck of a job. Now batting for Mount Union, number 1, Johnny Costella. It's Costella now in the box for the Purple Raiders. Bases juiced, 1 down. A chance for more damage. 2-0 the score. Score 3, the game's blown even further open. 1-0 the count as that pitch misses upstairs. Decker, he needs to find his spots. Definitely a stingy zone per se, but some of them could be brought in just a little bit. 2-0 now the count. I feel like if this is a walk, you might have to make yet another call to the bullpen. It's tough. It's tough in this scenario. You want to let them work through it, but you can't be giving up free runs. Now 3-0 on Costella. And it doesn't get any easier. Luke Ickes, one of the best hitters on the team in the 8-hole, is up next. Wow. And we will have some action in the bullpen. The 3-0, it's yet another walk. Mount Union up 3-0. 3rd straight walk in a row. And for the Purple Raiders, now batting, number 11, Luke Ickes. Mount Union, their dugout, they do the typical chant when you score a run. When you walk them in, though, you kind of dial that back just a little bit. But bases loaded for Ickes, the sophomore from Uniontown Green High School. And I think I see at least one member of the Federal League formerly in this box. Federal League is pedigree. I think CP down there can vouch for me. He agrees. He was over at Glen Oak. And their basketball team, they've had a couple of nice runs over the past couple of years. Baseball, same thing. Green, the only thing I know about their season so far is that they lost to Alliance last Friday. The Aviators still undefeated across the way. The St. V's game, I will update you guys when we know because we did stream that game. Still suspended 16-7 Alliance on top. We don't know what's going to happen with that one. But Ickes now stepping in. Bases juiced, 1 down. 3-0 Mount Union. Can he do some more damage? First pitch backs him out of the box. 1-0. And that is at least ball, I think, 8 or 9 in a row. Decker needs one here. And he gets it finally. 1-1 the count. A tough sequence for Decker, being gifted a bases-loaded situation. Not at all the gift that he was hoping for, but that is what he was dealt. Ickes sees that one through. 1-2 the count. And now you might have to be a little bit more aggressive than you'd want to be in this scenario. 1-2, Ickes looking to protect. And if he can find that left center field gap, damage comes. And a very tough take there. 2-2 the count. That's a big league take. That was right there by the zone. I don't know if that was out or not. That was a tough one to call. The 2-2. Backs him out. That one's a little bit easier. We are full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. If Ickes walks, that would be the 4th in a row. And time has been called. BW, they will have another mound visit. This could be the call to the bullpen again. It is Noah English, the senior from Perrysburg, warming up in the bullpen. Another great baseball school. And we will see the call to the bullpen for the 2nd time this inning. Mason Decker, his day is done. It will be Noah English on the bump, the 3rd pitcher of the frame for BW when we return. The count is full on Ickes. Mount Union on the cusp of run number 4. Full count on Ickes. It is Noah English now on the mound for Baldwin Wallace as we are back underway. And time has been called. If time wasn't called, that was a balk. But they do say time was called, so we do the full count. 3-2 this time, and there it is. Strike 3 on Ickes. And he is retired looking for out number 2. And now the strikeout, it depends who you want to give it to. It's shared. Now batting for Mount Union, number 3, Bryson Fox. Fox stepping in. A good game last time out. Our player of the game had an RBI single back in the 2nd frame and had a lot of great plays in center field. 0-1 the count on the lefty. Bases still loaded, 2 down. The pitch. Another low one, 2-0. 1-1. But English doing a nice job settling on into his outing very quickly as well. Fouls that one away. Now 1-2 on Fox. For BW next inning, it will be West, Jelpy, and Tarquino due up to hits. English trying to get out of the inning with no more damage. Upstairs, we are evened up at 2-2. A good take from Fox. If he is able to reach, Chris Viamonte would step back in the box for the Purple Raiders. Here's the 2-2, and it is low. We are full. The runners will move on the delivery. 3-2, 2 down, bottom one. And a long bottom of the first inning at that. English sets the payoff, and it is in there for strike three looking. Noah English comes in and settles things down beautifully. 2 strikeouts looking to retire the side. But Mount Union, they get the last laugh. 3-run score in the bottom of the first inning. We head to the second frame of 9 in game number 2. In this one now, Mount Union dominating this over BW. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 20, Colin West. Back on for the top of the second inning at Rafeld Rogers Field on the campus of the University of Mount Union. The Purple Raiders enjoying this one up 3-0. A good first pitch strike from Medavilla. 0-1 the count. But the Purple Raiders, a very good game 1, 5-1 win. And so far, so good in game 2. The throw across from Viamonte is in time to Costella. 1 up, 1 down. And now for BW, it is Brandon Jelpy. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 15, Brandon Jelpy. Jelpy steps in. 4 Yellow Jackets have stepped in the box this game. All 4 have gone right back. Medavilla fires. Misses up and out to Tome. 1-0 the count. Mount Union's defense the same as last time. Tome behind the dish. Costella at first. Whitty at second. Stegman at short. Viamonte at third. And from left to right in the outfield, Ickes, Fox, and Tesaurus. That pitch misses upstairs. 2-0. But Angel Medavilla, a good game so far. A lot of contact. But contact pitchers, if it is good contact for the defense, they win games. That pitch fouled away. 2 balls, 1 strike. If Mount Union wins this game, this would be their 13th win in a row. A great start to the OAC campaign as well. That pitch misses low. 3-1. After Jelpy, it goes to Maddox Tarquino. Tarquino, he pinch hit in the last game, and I believe he had a base hit. Here's the 3-1. A good rich hit out to right field. Getting underneath it for the Purple Raiders is Tesaurus, and he makes the play for out number 2. And now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 11, Maddox Tarquino. Tarquino, the 6th hole for the Yellow Jackets. 2 up, 2 down in the frame. He looks to break the cycle. Medavilla sets and will fire. First pitch is in there, 0-1 the count. Metavia continuing to hum. A great afternoon for Angel thus far through 5 batters. 1 strike. Now 1-1, a good pick from Tome. He has been plenty active behind the dish this afternoon for the Purple Raiders. By now, he has saved at least a few runs. Back to work as Metavia. He will fire. Chopped foul and towards Mount Union's dugout. Count stands 1 ball, 2 strikes. And we still have some action in the Yellow Jacket bullpen. But given the way things went at the end of the bottom of the first, you stick with English. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Metavia sets and fires. Misses upstairs, evening us up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Getting eyes in the bullpen, it is Jake Hetherington, the sophomore from Bel Air. Metavia sets and offers the 2-2. Chopped right side. Whitty picks it up. The throw is airmailed. The tag is in time. Costella, a great recovery, retires the side. Put out number 3 on the game from Whitty. And the Purple Raider defense is perfect. 6 up and 6 down in order. We flip to the home half of the second inning in Alliance. Mount Union 3, Baldwin Wallace 0. Your score on SmeeSports. Your attention. Now pitching for Baldwin Wallace, number 6, Jake Hetherington. Now batting for Mount Union, number 21, Chris Viamonte. Bottom of the second inning here at Rafeld Rogers Field on the campus of the University of Mount Union. The Purple Raiders, last time they were at the sticks, 3 runs scored. And it is a foul tip on the first offering to Viamonte. 0-1 the count. On the mound for the Yellow Jackets, it is Jake Hetherington, the sophomore from Bel Air. Hetherington fires, swing and a miss. 2 quick fire strikes from Hetherington. A great start to his outing. He tries to get Viamonte in 3. Almost does, but he just misses low. Baldwin Wallace right now, they just need some stability on the pitcher's mound. They need the same guy out there for a few frames. A good hit from Viamonte. Plenty of power into left center field. From left field, calling it off is Marusik, and he is able to get it for out number 1. A good, powerful cut out to the outfield, and now we will see Andrew Whitty. Now batting for Mount Union, number 40, Andrew Whitty. Whitty 1 for 1 on the day with, I believe, a base hit. 1-0 the count. But the Purple Raiders right now playing some great baseball. They have been all season. Battle tested in Florida. They did everything right on their road trip for spring break. And it's really paying dividends right now. A few weeks left to go in the regular season. And they looked primed to make a run in the OAC tournaments and in the NCAA tournaments. A good pitch there from Hetherington makes the count 2-1. As I mentioned in last game of the doubleheader, we will have 9 innings regardless in this game. No run rule, no 7 innings, full 9-inning games for both contests. 2 balls, 2 strikes, now the count. The pitch from Hetherington. Another good hit, but this time it is foul over to the right side. Hetherington, a lot more power than his predecessors, but the difference, that power is put way further in the field. And another one is fouled away. But the Purple Raiders right now are having a difficult time timing it up right. I mean, you go from slower pitching to heater after heater after heater, you are bound to have some growing pains. Here is the 2-2. A good amount of power once again to the right side. And it will fall in foul territory. Count will remain 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the on-deck circle after Whitty, it is Alex Stegman. Stegman, a good doubleheader so far, both offensively and defensively. Hetherington still looking for out number 2. A good battle from Whitty in the box. Hetherington sets and fires. Ground ball heated up the middle, and it is through. A 1-out single for Andrew Whitty puts the Purple Raiders back on the base path. A great adjustment made by the second baseman. A lot of foul contact. And finally, he is able to straighten that one out. Now batting for Mount Union, number 2, Alex Stegman. Stegman now steps in for the Purple Raiders. The lefty looking to move Whitty along the base path. Hetherington coming set. He fires. Chopped right side, picked up by Kilbane, and he will make his beeline back to first, retiring Stegman for out number 2. He thought he could potentially get a double play, but chose the sure out. Now batting for Mount Union, number 17, Joe Leonard. Leonard now steps in, struck out swinging his first time up. But Whitty now at second base in scoring position. Chopped foul into BW's dugout. A gift of sorts from Leonard. 0-1 the count. For BW next inning, Carson Petreka, Mason Fix, and John Pensteris due up. Hetherington checking on Whitty. Will fire. Misses low, a good spot, but that will even us up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Once again, you are watching OAC Baseball on SmeeSports. Hetherington back to work on the mound. Whitty gets a good secondary. It is a bit low, 2-1. After Leonard, it goes to Chris Tesaurus. But Mount Union, with a runner in scoring position, wants to score for the 4th time today. Hetherington doing all he can to prevent it. The pitch. Fouled away. That will take us to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2s all the way around, as that is the count. 2 down, bottom 2, and a runner at second base, who also happens to be the second baseman. We say 2s all the way around pretty often in this industry for baseball. But this time, it literally is all the way around, all 2s. Hetherington coming set, fires the 2-2. A good hit into right center on the bloop. It is still caught, though. A great recovery by Carson Petreka. He trails into the outfield and retires the side. That was a tough play to make. The furthest thing from a clear-cut play, but credit to Petreka. He follows the ball back into the outfield, and as we see on the replay, gets underneath it and makes a very tough snag. 2 innings complete in game number 2. Mount Union 3, Baldwin Wallace 0. Your score on SmeeSports. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 27, Carson Petreka. Top of the third inning at Rafeld Rogers Field on the campus of Mount Union. 3-0 Mount Union, your score. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this afternoon. Petreka skies the first pitch of the inning over to right field. Tesores gets underneath it and snags it for out number 1. The great start of Metavia continues. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 32, Mason Fix. Fix now in the box for the visitors. The catcher, a couple of good stops so far in this game, and flicking back to the last one, I believe he had a couple of good offensive opportunities. 0-1 the counts. A good first pitch from Metavia. He has been cruising so far. A great afternoon from him, and he looks to keep it rolling. That pitch misses low, 1 ball, 1 strike. And even amid all of the flyouts, the defense, they've remained firm. Metavia, no strikeouts yet, but his defense, they have his back. 2-1 now the count on Fix as that pitch misses well upstairs. Once again, for those just joining us, the Purple Raiders looking to win for the 13th time in a row and improve to 10-0 in conference play. Ground ball left side, and that is the first base hit of the ball game for Baldwin Wallace. Mason Fix sneaks it through on the left side, and BW has some life on the base paths. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 36, John Pesteris. Pesteris now steps in the box for the visitors. As I mentioned, 1 runner on, 1 down in the top of the third. But this is a good opportunity for the Yellow Jackets. I expect to see some movement on the base path from Fix. Baldwin Wallace, they just want to get at least 1 run across early. They don't want to save the comeback for late if they do make one. 1-0 the count on Pesteris. Metavia checks the runner. And fires. Swing and a miss. A hefty cut from Pesteris. No contact. We are evened up at 1 ball and 1 strike. A good heater dished out by Metavia. Angels so far outside of the base hit. 4 ground outs in a row. A pop out, a ground out, and then another pop out. A good throw back to 1 is not in time. Metavia does a nice job to not break towards the plate, a little bit further towards it, and that would be a balk. Count remains 1 ball, 1 strike. Metavia sets and shoots. Sky to right side, and it will carry on out of here foul. Count now sits at 1 ball, 2 strikes. After Pesteris, we go back to the top of the order with Sean Kolenich. Kolenich, he has had himself a nice little doubleheader so far. Here's the 1-2, and it sails past home. Taking second base is Fix, and he is now in scoring position with 1 down. That is exactly the break Baldwin Wallace needed. Movement on the base path. You get closer to your end goal. Putting 1 across this frame would be seen as a success for the Yellow Jackets. Angel Metavia looking for out number 2, and it's through. A good hit from Pesteris, and that will put runners at the corners with still 1 down. And we go back to the top of the order now for Baldwin Wallace. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 31, Sean Kolenich. BW in a very good spot to strike. They need to take advantage of this situation. No guarantee they will have this good of a look again anytime soon. And with Kolenich, who has been a surefire great player today, the cards look somewhat good for the Yellow Jackets. And in that same breath, if another ball gets past home on a wild pitch, BW will take 1 run from it, and they will put another in scoring position. Metavia sets, checks, and fires. And it's a good delivery, but they say no. 2 balls, no strikes. That looked pretty good from my angle up here. I thought that was definitely in the zone, but then again, there's a reason I'm up here with a headset and not behind the dish. 2 balls on Kalenic. The pitch. Chopped left side. A great catch over at third, and the double play is turned! Viamonte gets the scoop / catch off the dirt, and the side is retired! Chris Viamonte, what a play! We will watch that one back. I don't know how he was able to snag that. Catching it on the one hop, and they go around the horn. Double play number 3 turned today by the Purple Raiders, and they get out of a sticky situation. We head to the home half of the third in Alliance, Ohio. Mount Union 3, Baldwin Wallace 0, your score on SmeeSports. Welcome back to Rafeld Rogers Field on the campus of the University of Mount Union. Bottom of the third inning in game number 2 of our doubleheader. Mount Union up 3-zip. First pitch strike from Hetherington. 0-1 the count on Chris Tesaurus. Tesaurus, he began the stretch of 3 walks in a row his last time up. That pitch is skied well out of here. 0-2 the count. But it will be Tesaurus, Tome, and Costello do up this frame for UMU. Hetherington wasting no time. Fires the 0-2. Did he get the offering? And they say no. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tesaurus getting a little bit lucky there. He needs to be selective on these swings, especially on the ones that you know are out of the zone. And he fouls that one away. A good survival cut from Tesaurus. Count will remain at 1 ball, 2 strikes. But Mount Union going back to the first inning, they were able to score 3 runs. They looked menacing last time out, but only 1 hit and a runner at second base. They couldn't get enough momentum on the base path to bring in Whitty. The 1-2 misses upstairs, evening us up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good patience in the box from Chris Tesaurus. Hetherington looking to win the battle here. Fires. And it is up once again. We are full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Good patience from Tesaurus in the box. A QAB at a minimum. Hetherington sets the payoff. And it is in there for strike 3 looking. Third strikeout looking of the game from Mount Union. And Tesaurus is put down on strikes for out number 1. Now batting for Mount Union, number 32, Daniel Tome. Tome, last time up, walked. He was in the middle of the 3 walks, behind Tesaurus and in front of Costello. First pitch is low, 1-0 the count on the freshman catcher. Tome has done an excellent job adjusting to the collegiate game after coming on over from St. Ed's. Another low offering. 2 balls now on Tome. After Tome, it's then Costello, Ickes, and Fox due up. Hetherington getting ready. Fires the 2-0. A high chop to the edge of the grass. And the play is made by Petreka for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for BW's defense. Now batting for Mount Union, number 1, Johnny Costello. Once again, if you are just joining us, I am not only calling the game on SmeeSports, but I am also doing the field announcing in-house. 1-0 the count on Costello as he sees that first pitch in the dirt. Hetherington is the fourth pitcher of this game for the Yellow Jackets. Swing and a hefty miss from Costello. 1 ball, 1 strike as he wanted it all there. And you can hear the cheers from his dugout. All fun and games. Mount Union up in this one, and they are enjoying their lead. Hetherington getting ready, fires. Thought about it, but leaves it. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hetherington looking to get back on track. Costello looking for a good offering to cut at. Lays off of that one, and it ends up being the right choice. Ball 3. Costello looking to walk for the second time with Luke Ickes awaiting in the on-deck circle. Hetherington fires the 3-1, and we will have a full count. Costello fouls that one away. Once again tomorrow, we will be at Hoban, 5 p.m. first pitch, Hoban and Holy Name. Here's the payoff, and it is low. Ball 4. Costello draws his second walk of the ball game. And now batting for Mount Union, number 11, Luke Ickes. Ickes, the left fielder, struck out looking his first time up. Runner at first, 2 down for the Purple Raiders. But Ickes, the lefty, a chance to potentially bring in a run. He has the power to do so. It just depends on what they try and do in the box. The first pitch is a strike as he follows through on the bunt attempt. Interesting to see a bunt attempt with 2 down and a runner at first. The throwback 2-1 is not in time. Hetherington, he tried to catch Costello out, but was unable to do so. No balls, 1 strike. Hetherington coming set. Will fire. And it's in there, 0-2. Ickes, with his back against the wall, needs to find something here. Can Hetherington get out of the inning unscathed? Not quite yet, as that pitch misses low. Ickes thought about it, but in the end, he laid off. Right decision made. Still Costello over at first base for UMU. Hetherington tries again to get out of the inning. Runner goes, chopped right side. Petreka gets it at second base, and the throw 2-1 is in time, retiring the side. Put out number 2 on the inning for Petreka, and BW avoids any damage. We head to the 4th inning in Alliance. Mount Union still leading 3-0. Three innings complete at Mount Union. 3-0 Mount Union on top as we begin the top of the 4th inning with a first pitch strike 0-1 the count on Marusic. Here goes Marusic, Kilbane, and West for Baldwin Wallace this frame. Menavia fires his 0-1, and it is upstairs, evening up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. But the tale of the tape so far has been that first inning. A lot of walks surrendered by BW, 2 hits early on, and then a whole host of walks. And that is why that they are on their 4th pitcher of the game in Jake Hetherington. 1 ball, 1 strike. Menavia sets and fires. Chops foul over to the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Menavia still with no strikeouts on the day. The last time he faced a batter, it was Kalenich, and it was his infield doing the job. A great double play got them out of a jam. Here's the pitch, and it sails by Tome. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Menavia still looking to find his rhythm. A lot of lengthy at-bats. Even if he does have a shutout in hand come the 7th, will he have any more pitches left in the tank? Here's the 2-2. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strikeout number 1 on the afternoon from Menavia. A slight offering from Marusic, but enough in the end. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 19, Mally Kilbane. Kilbane grounded out to Whitty his first time up. He looks for redemption in at-bat number 2 with 1 down in the top of the 4th. The first pitch he sees is eye level, 1-0 the count. But overall, across the board, only 3 strikeouts, or excuse me, actually 5 strikeouts, 4 from BW and 1 from Menavia of Mount Union. That pitch sails off the plate, 2 balls. Kilbane, a mixed bag today. A couple of good plays, but also a couple of tough breaks over at first base. He is giving it his all, but some just have an unlucky ricochet on the attempt. So far, this at-bat, so good. 3 balls. It is Colin West, the designated hitter, awaiting the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch. And it is in there. 3 balls, 1 strike, a good get right from Menavia. Menavia needs to keep that going, keep that same rhythm and consistency up. If he can do so, he is in a good spot to get himself back in this at-bat. And that's exactly what he does, getting the strike near the outside of the zone. We are full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. A good screen back by Menavia. He looks for his 2nd strikeout of the afternoon and in a row. And he gets it. The high heat gets Kilbane cutting for out number 2. Menavia, he is settled in now. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 20, Colin West. West 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to his name. But Menavia, outside of a base hit from Pensteris, the 9-hitter, perfect. And it's a first pitch strike to West, 0-1 as he zips that ball by. A great offering from the starting pitcher. A great game from Menavia so far. He looks to keep it rolling here. He misses upstairs on that occasion. 1 ball, 1 strike. For Mount Union next inning, it will be Fox, Viamonte, and Whitty due up. So that would be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Or excuse me, the 9, 1, and 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now the count. But Mount Union, if they can get out of these innings quickly and keep Menavia in as long as possible, they will be set up for success. Chopped left side, Viamonte lets it travel. Bare hands, the throw across is not in time. Costello has to come off of the bag to get the ball, and it goes down as an infield hit for Colin West. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 15, Brandon Jelpe. Jelpe now steps in for the visitors. Runner at first, 2 down in the top of the 4th. This is OAC Baseball once again on SmeeSports. Menavia sets and fires. First pitch, a good offering there. 1-0 the count as he doesn't get the favorable decision. It looked good, but maybe just a little bit out. The next pitch is sent into left center, a good spot, and it will fall in no man's land. Going over to third is West, and he is in. Put runners at the corners with 2 down in the top of the 4th. BW, some 2-out rally action. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 11, Maddox Tarquino. Tarquino now steps in for the Yellow Jackets. Run number 1 standing 90 feet away. Run number 2 over at first. And run number 3 is Tarquino himself. Angel looking for a way out of this inning. The pitch. Upstairs, 1-0 the count. Metavia just trying to continue throwing his best stuff here. That is all he really can do. Angel sets and fires, and he will miss off the plate. 2-0. It is Carson Petreka awaiting the on-deck circle for Baldwin Wallace. So if Metavia doesn't get Tarquino here, his job doesn't get any easier. The pitch is in. 3-0. Metavia needs one here. Angel trying to settle back into this game. Still runners at the corners. Top 4, 2 down. Metavia sets and fires, and it is low. A 4-pitch walk loads the bases up for Carson Petreka. Baldwin Wallace fighting their way back in. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 27, Carson Petreka. Petreka, a fly out / pop out to right field his first time up. The base is loaded yet again today, and Petreka has a chance to do some real damage. First pitch strike from Metavia. He is getting back to his best. A good first offering. 0-1 the count. He needs to keep it rolling here. Metavia sets and fires again. Missing upstairs. We are evened up at 1 ball, 1 strike. After Petreka, it goes to Mason Fix, the 8-hitter, and the catcher. But Mount Union desperately needs to find a way out of this inning. A good hit by Petreka deep to left field, but right on a line to Ickes, and Ickes retires the side. Off of the bat, that was a screamer. A little bit more to the right, and we might have a different conversation. But Ickes settles down the defense. No damage done. We flip to the home half of the 4th. Mount Union still on top, 3-0. Nine, 1 and 2 due up in the home half of the 4th inning for Mount Union. A scare in the top of the frame. Bases loaded, 2 down. But Luke Ickes out in left field made the play that sealed the inning as a goose egg for BW. Here's the 0-1. Now 0-2 on Fox. 2 great pitches in a row by Hetherington. Once again, Hetherington, the 4th pitcher of the game for the Yellow Jackets. He has been cruising since coming into the ball game in the 2nd. And on 3 straight pitches, he gets out number 1. A great first at bat on behalf of Hetherington. He now has 2 strikeouts. Now batting for Mount Union, number 21, Chris Viamonte. Viamonte now steps in. 1 for 2 on the day. A base hit and a fly out to center field thus far. Hetherington back to work. Will fire, and it is in there. 0-1 the count. 4 straight strikes to begin the frame. Hetherington goes again. Now 0-2. Jake Hetherington cruising. Wasting no time. He fires, and there it is. Ball 1 of the inning and of the at-bat. It looked like he was trying to go for the perfect inning. Couldn't get it done in the end as his attempt ends at 5. But on pitch number 7, he gets strikeout number 2 on the frame and out number 2 as Viamonte is retired with the throwdown. Now batting for Mount Union, number 40, Andrew Whitty. Whitty 2 for 2 on the day, 2 base hits in this game, but the bases cleared 2 down, and Hetherington looking really good. This one might be a little bit more difficult. 1-0 the count on the second baseman. But Baldwin Wallace, a good recovery defensively in this frame. Chopped, and it will fall. Foul on the right side after a little bit of hang time. 1 ball, 1 strike, now the count. For Baldwin Wallace next inning, Fix, Pensteris, and Kolenich will be due up. The pitch sails well out of the way, even past Fix, the catcher. Count now sits at 2 balls, 1 strike. A good take from Whitty. Obviously, with it being that high and that out of the way, the take was pretty self-explanatory, but still could have offered patience. That wins you at-bats. Here's the 2-1, and it is low, 3-1. After Whitty, it turns to Alex Stegman. Hetherington will fire the 3-1, and it is in there. We are full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hetherington trying to get the Purple Raiders in order. Here is the payoff. Chopped, and it will sail out of play. Count sits at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hetherington wasting no time. Goes for the payoff again, and it zips at the eye level of Whitty. Ball 4. So Mount Union will have a base runner with 2 down in the bottom of the 4th. And now batting for Mount Union, number 2, Alex Stegman. Stegman stepping in, reached on an error his first time up, and then grounded out to Kilbane his second. Bunt show, not down. It's 0-1, and Whitty is able to steal seconds. Plenty of speed there from Whitty as he's able to cruise on through. Runner in scoring position now for Stegman. His job a little bit easier. The pitch. Cranked right off the gut. It is through. Whitty will be sent. The play at the plate is not in time. It's an RBI single for Alex Stegman. Make it 4-0 Mount Union on top. Given Whitty walked on a full count. What a turnaround from Mount Union. Plating 1. That was never supposed to happen. Great job. Now batting for Mount Union, number 17, Joe Leonard. The throwback to 1 is not in time. Stegman, he did his job. An RBI single. Mount Union on top 4-0. Can they get Stegman home now? The pitch. Sky to right side. Playable. And it is caught in foul territory by Kilbane, retiring the side. but not before Alex Stegman leaves his mark on game number 2. An RBI single, scores Whitty for complete in Alliance. Mount Union up by 4 against Baldwin Wallace. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 32, Mason Fix. Back on for the top of the 5th inning at Rafeld Rogers Field. Mount Union 4, Baldwin Wallace 0 your score. If you are just joining us, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this afternoon, live on SmeeSports. And if you couldn't have guessed by now, or you missed it earlier, I am also doing the PA announcing. So that is why every single time we list the number and the player name and who they are batting for. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fix looking to reach here. The pitch. And it is off the plate. 2-1 the count. But looking at Baldwin Wallace, they had the bases loaded. But Petreka, a missile into the outfield, looked promising. But Ickes was right there, hit directly to him. And that was enough to retire the side. 3 balls, 1 strike, now on Fix. John Pensteris, the center fielder, awaiting in the on-deck circle. Here is the 3-1. And it is a lead-off walk for Mason Fix. BW back in business as they will have a duck on the pond. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 36, John Pensteris. Pensteris 1 for 1 on the day. He was able to get a base hit off of a very good Metavia at the time. Pretty much perfect. I think he had 1 hit allowed up until then. So to get a hit that early on in the game off of Metavia, who since then has allowed a couple more hits, it was very impressive. 1 ball, no strikes the count. I wouldn't be surprised to see Fix get some movement on the base path. A good extra lead as he retreats on it, and the throwback is not in time. Metavia, he is catching on to the movement of the runner. And that is good. You have to keep him close. In last game, the throwbacks were very good from both sides. A lot of close calls. The pitch. And it is in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. A good get right from Metavia as he has his attention and his focus split between Fix and Pensteris. The pitch. Crank left side, and it is through for a base hit. Pensteris now 2 for 2 in game number 2. And that will bring us back to the top of BW's order. 2 on, no down. The offense looking dangerous. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 31, Sean Kalenich. Kalenich, he grounded it into a double play his last time up. He will look to avoid that this time. But before that happens, Coach Hesse, he will make his way to the mound. And this will most likely do it for Metavia. We will see who they bring on in a moment. For Metavia, his day will be over. A good outing from him. 4 innings of work. The 2 runners on would be credited to him if they score. The call to the bullpen has been made. 2 runners on, no one down in the top of the 5th inning. Mount Union up 4-0 against Baldwin Wallace. Your attention, now on the mound for Mount Union, number 5, Ryan Ramito. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 31, Sean Kalenich. The call to the bullpen has been made. It is Ramito now on the mound for Mount Union. 1-0 the count to begin. Kalenich is at bat at long last. If you are just joining us, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening, live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Crank left side, a great play by Viamonte. How did he get it? The throw to 2 is not in time, though. How in the heck did Viamonte snatch that? Wow. A web gem at the hot corner. They don't call it that for nothing. Kalenich reaches on the fielder's choice, but man. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 45, Joey Marusik. And now Marusik steps in. Same scenario, just with 1 out. 1-0 now the count, but Viamonte, that might be play of the game. That was insane. Ramito checks the runner and fires. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ramito coming in for Mendavia. Mendavia, a good start to the game. 2 runners on, 4 innings of work already. You bring in a new arm and try and full BW. A good block from Tome, but he loses it. It's off to his right, and going home is BW, and that is how they will score for the first time today. Tome had it close, but just couldn't figure out where it went. BW now back within 3, and they could be back within 2 with a base knock now. Runner at third. Unfortunate for Mount Union, a tough one there. But they will have to work through it. Marusik looking to bring in another run. Bunt shown, pulled back, and a good block by Tome. Count, I believe, stands at 2-0. But Baldwin Wallace, this is exactly the break they needed. Ramito sets and fires. Another low one. Actually, it was 3-0, so that is a walk. Marusik, he will reach, but runners at the corners, 1 down. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 19, Mally Kilbane. Kilbane now steps in. A very good opportunity. He would be the tying run. So we will see how close Baldwin Wallace gets to getting it. First pitch, it is offered at, but I don't know if they say he went or not. They say no, it's 1-0. They don't get the out at 1. But still, Tome, a very good idea and a good play to keep it that close this time. A good recovery from him. Ramito sets and fires, and it is in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. A very good offering there. Can he keep that going? This is a very tough time. You have to be careful. Not good enough. You're going to walk the bases loaded. Too good. A runner will score. Down the left field line, scooped up by Viamonte. The tag is in time! What a play by Chris Viamonte! 2 insane plays at the hot corner. Wow! Chris Viamonte working overtime. Now batting, number 20, Colin West. But how did Viamonte make that play? To see that slight twitch and act on it, impressive. 2 down now as we will see Colin West step in. First pitch low, 1-0. To get to it, that was good. I thought they were going to try and turn 2 or something, but you get the out at 3. You will take that. If he was safe, though, that's the bases loaded. Chopped foul. That was a risky play by Viamonte because if, as I said, he didn't make that play, bases loaded, 1 down. 1 big swing, and you are in a lot of trouble. But Ramito looking to settle down the defense here. Misses upstairs. A good idea, a good spot to hit as well, but 2-0. Still a chance for the Yellow Jackets to strike. It is Jelpe in the on-deck circle after West. Upstairs, 3-0. And it looks like we will see Jelpe come up with the bases loaded. Ramito, he needs to battle back in. 3 balls, no strikes. He checks and delivers. Ground ball left side, and it is off the glove of Viamonte. They will send the runner a slight trip, but Marusik is in. Make it 4-2, and it's an RBI single for Colin White. A good attempt from Viamonte. I wouldn't say you penalize him with the error. That's still a tough play. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 15, Brandon Jelpe. Jelpe has 2 on. The tying runs are on the base path. 4-2 the score. BW has a realistic path to tying it up right here. Ramito trying to dial up a good couple of pitches. First pitch sails upstairs, 1-0 the count. I wouldn't be surprised if Mount Union had some more action in their bullpen. They need to be careful here. They do not want to let their lead slip away. A 4-0 lead entering the frame, 2 runs so far. I think they had 1, BW did. But it might not matter. Skied in the infield. They need the play, and it is made by Costella, and he will retire the side, but not before BW is able to plate 1 run. 4-2 your score as we enter the bottom of the 5th inning. Mount Union up by 2, looking for some insurance when we return. Now batting for Mount Union, number 9, Chris Tesaurus. Bottom of the 5th inning at Rafeld Rogers Field on the campus of the University of Mount Union. Mount Union, a tight one here, 4-2 over BW. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this afternoon if you are just joining us. First pitch strike on the swing, 0-1 the count. The Yellow Jackets played it 2 in the top half of the inning And they are back within 2, and their offense looking deadly. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tesaurus. This will be a great time for the Purple Raiders to add on some insurance. That pitch misses off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. But Hetherington, he has become a mainstay on the mound for BW. I said it earlier, unless the Yellow Jackets have stability on the mound, they will always struggle in this game. They have stability on the mound, and their struggles defensively seemingly have gone away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Tesaurus. Tesaurus looking for a good swing here. Chops it left side, a tough play. The throw from Hetherington is not in time. Tesaurus legs it out, and it is a lead-off infield single for the Purple Raiders. A great play by the freshman. Now batting for Mount Union, number 32, Daniel Tome. Tome 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out and a walk to his name in game number 2. After the hustle, Tesaurus stands at first. The pitch, it is low, 1-0 on Tome. Tome knows what he can do for this team. He knows, and we've seen it today, that he can be a quality hitter along with a quality defensive catcher. Usually it's one or the other. This kid has both. Now 2-0 the count. Just a reminder, tomorrow at 5 p.m. we will be live at Archbishop Hoban High School. The Knights taking on Holy Name. That will be our first game for the Green Wave in the regular season in partnership with them. Here's the 2-0. And it is off the plate, 3-0. After Tome, up steps Johnny Costello, the first baseman. A pair of walks already. And time has been called. It looks like we could see yet another call to the bullpen from the Yellow Jackets. They had stability from Hetherington, but it seems in the last couple of pitches he has started to lose his edge almost. And I think that he is hurt with that elbow. That would explain what happened, because he was cruising before and then something happened. If that's the case, that might be the second pitcher down today from BW. Not at all what you want to see. And they quickly, and as an emergency situation, have Tyler Walker, the junior from Copley, warming up. And he will have to be done. Hetherington frustrated, but a great outing from him. You have to feel for the kid. He comes in after a line of struggles on the mound, settles things down, and then gets hurt. Hopefully he will be okay. That is the main concern right now. Baldwin Wallace will have a new arm coming on, and it will be number 9, Tyler Walker, when we return. This is OAC Baseball on SmeeSports. Your attention now on the mound for Baldwin Wallace, number 9, Tyler Walker. We are back on in the bottom of the 5th inning. 3-0 the count on Tome. The call to the bullpen has been made. It is Walker. Walker coming in for an injured Hetherington. Not an ideal situation all the way around. Hoping that he is okay. And if we do have updates by the end of this game, we will let you know. But it is highly unlikely that we will. But if you are just joining us, this is OAC Baseball on SmeeSports. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this afternoon. Once again, an impromptu broadcast. 12 p.m. got here. Boxcast not working. I believe it got fried by some lightning. That's what I'm being told at least. Could be wrong. Could be right. I don't really know. Doesn't really matter right now. But steps in and we have the broadcast up. 1 second and you'll see the other part of this. Back in the box for Mount Union, number 32, Daniel Tome. And as well, yep, I am the field announcer, play-by-play, PA. Don't know another kind of thing that rhymes like that. You could add Lakers in 5 after it. I don't really care. Here's the 3-0, and it is in the zone. 3-1, a good first pitch from Walker. Walker, the junior from Copley. A tough conference out there, a lot of good teams, and a very big conference in the Suburban League. Here is the 3-1, and it is low. Tome will reach via a walk. And now we will see Johnny Costello, the first baseman, step in. Now batting for Mount Union, number 1, Johnny Costello. Costello, 2 walks to his name. He looks to make it 3 here. 2 on, no one down in the bottom of the 5th. He shows bunt. It is beautiful. And the throw to 2 is in time. They split as Tome is able to almost get in there, but just not in time. A tough fielder's choice there, but Costello, a thing of beauty. And now from Mount Union, it turns to Luke Ickes. Now batting for Mount Union, number 11, Luke Ickes. Ickes over 2 on the day with a strikeout looking and a ground out to his name. Runners at the corners, 1 down. Walker and company desperately want a double play ball here. Swing. And they say it was a swing completely. 0-1 the count on Ickes. Ickes, a great game 1, looking to get his offense rolling here in game number 2. Walker comes set. Now the pitch. Ground ball right side, and it is scooped up at 1. It is a double play ball for the Yellow Jackets, and they get out of the inning. Unbelievable. But now they say there's a safe. Now they say no run. I'm about to say they called both outs. The run shouldn't count. We will watch it back. Ickes just hit it down that side. A great play at 1. They got him in time. The side is retired, and Lady Luck is bleeding yellow and brown. We flip to the 6th inning in Alliance. Mount Union's defense looking to hold BW's offense, but the Yellow Jackets hungry for runs when we return. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 11, Maddox Tarquino. Top of the 6th inning at Rafeld Rogers Field. Still a lot of baseball left to go in this one. 4-2 the score. A very good affair to this point 0-1 the count as Romito's first offering finds the zone against Tarquino. It is Tarquino, Petreka, and Fix due up this frame. That pitch misses upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. For Mount Union, they started off with Angel Medavilla on the mound. But after 4 innings of work, they pulled him in favor of Romito. And that pitch is off the plate. 2-1 now the count. But a very long day at the ballpark. I've been here for about 5.5 hours now. These long doubleheader days is a lot different when we do Tri-C, where it's usually 7-inning games, or given Tri-C, it's 5. Ground ball chopped over to Stegman. The throw 2-1 is in time. 1 up, 1 down. A great start for Stegman and company defensively. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 27, Carson Petreka. Petreka steps in, a fly out, rapidly hit over towards Ickes and left. A little bit over to the right or left, and that would have really opened up the game in favor of BW. 1-0 the count on the second baseman. The pitch from Romito goes to the outside and can't connect. Count now sits 2 balls, no strikes. Once again, Mount Union looking to improve to 10-0 in OAC play and win their 13th straight game. 2-1 now the count. A good get right from Romito. Romito, a junior, played his high school ball for North Ridgeville. Here's the pitch. Thought about it but left it for the Worms. 3 balls, 1 strike. After Petreka, it goes to Mason Fix, the catcher. Baldwin Wallace trying to get at least 1 run home this inning and make it a very tight competition. We are now full 3 balls, 2 strikes. A good pitch from Romito. Romito looking to win the battle with Petreka. The payoff, chopped foul off of an ankle. Always a painful feeling to have a ball hit off the ankle, especially given today's weather. A very chilly afternoon in Alliance. The cold makes everything hurt just a bit worse. Romito coming set. Still a full count. The payoff. Hit hard left side. Stegman gets it. The throw across on a bounce is in time for out number 2. A good pick from Costella. And a good job by him. He's able to use the base as a launching pad. He stays on and then jets off. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 32, Mason Fix. It is Fix stepping in. 2 up, 2 down so far, and 2 ground outs to Stegman. We could see the Alex Stegman inning if we have 1 more go over his way. 1 ball and no strikes to count. A lot of first pitch balls today from Mount Union. They, as of right now, appear to be a back half of the at-bat team pitching-wise. 2-0 the count. But a lot of battles back from here and a lot of battles back from 3-0 even. Romito sets and fires. And it is in there. 2-1, a good get right from Romito. And that is exactly what I was saying moments ago. Later on in the at-bat, 2-0, 3-0, 2-1. They find a way to battle back in. Now 3-1 as that pitch misses low. We will see if Mount Union will have any action in the bullpen in the coming innings. I would be surprised to see Romito finish out this game. I think at least a couple more innings of work. And if he can pitch just like that pitch, he's in good shape. He has already retired 2 in order this frame. Full count, 3-2 on Fix. Romito to retire the side in order. No, he cannot do so. A low pitch, ball 4, and Fix will take his base. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 36, John Pansteris. Pansteris now steps back in. 2 for 2 on the day. A great outing in the box in game number 2. I believe he had a hit in game number 1 as a pinch hitter, so a very productive afternoon from number 36. 0-1 the count as he sees a first pitch strike. A good offering in there. Ramito back to work. He fires. Hit left side down the left field line, and it falls fair. A little bit more zip down the line, and we could have seen Fix take third. Instead, he stays at second. Pensteris now 3 for 3 on the afternoon, and we bring back up the top of the order. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 31, Sean Kalenich. Kalenich, fielder's choice his last time up. Before that, a double play ball. But he has a chance to really help out the Yellow Jackets here with one swing of the bat. First pitch lobbed right in, 0-1 the count. That could have been his pitch to turn on. But in the end, he lays off. Still 2 strikes to work with. Ramito fires again. Fouled away, now 0-2 the count. A good start by Ramito. He has Kalenich in a very good spot. Now, 1 strike, no damage. No balls, 2 strikes. Ramito to get out of the inning with no damage. Crank left center field. It is down for a base hit. This time they will send Fix. There is no play at the plate. Baldwin Wallace back within 1. It's an RBI single for Kalenich. Exactly what the doctor ordered. And now for Baldwin Wallace, we will see Joey Marusic. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 45, Joey Marusic. The tying run now stands 90 feet away for the Yellow Jackets. The go-ahead run is at first. Ramito, he needs it here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a steal from Kalenich even. But Marusic, he has a lot of power right now. And it's a balk! BW ties it on a balk! Wow! Now they say time is called. That would have been a very, very caustic way to tie up the game. I mentioned it a lot during these broadcasts. If you have to ask a pitcher what a balk is, be prepared to pull up a chair and you're going to be there for a while. BW, they saw the light of day. Mount Union, they saw their worst nightmare coming to life. They need something here from Ramito. I'm sure there's action in the bullpen right now. We'll try and get eyes down there, but it is tough from this angle to see. No matter which way we move, really tough to see if there is action or not. I am going to assume there is, just given the game script right now. And based on that look down from one of the coaches, I am going to go ahead and say, yes, there is. But still, runners at the corners, 2 down in the top of the 6th. BW, they have their way back in. Chopped up the middle, Mount Union needs it, and it is their sure thing shortstop, Alex Stegman. He puts his foot on the bag and ends the nonsense, retiring the side. A few moments ago, we thought we had a tie game with a balk, but in the end, they say time was called. Stegman puts the inning to rest. Mount Union surrenders 1, but still leads by 1, and we will now step aside. This is OAC Baseball on SmeeSports. Bottom of the 6th inning at Rafeld Rogers Field, home of the Mount Union Purple Raiders. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this afternoon if you are just joining us. And a very hard 90 to get us underway. It looks like Fox, off of his body, fouls it into his own dugout, but he will be granted first base. And that brings us back to the top of the order. Now batting for Mount Union, number 21, Chris Viamonte. Chris Viamonte today has been the hot glove against his former team. A transfer from BW a few years ago, a revenge game that is going very well for him. He will show bunt. Runner goes, the pitch, he pulls back, the throwdown, it might be there, and they say no! Wow. From this angle initially, it looked like they had him. A great throw from Fix, but Fox is in now in scoring position for the Purple Raiders. I think Mount will take that any day of the week. Bunt shown again. This time a heavy hit down the right field line, and Kilbane is able to beeline back to first for out number 1, but that will put Fox 90 feet away from scoring. A good play, and now we will see Andrew Whitty step in. Now batting for Mount Union, number 40, Andrew Whitty. For those just joining us who did not catch on, yes, I am PA announcing while calling the game. First pitch fouled away by Whitty, 0-1 the count. But with one down, you have to think that Whitty is going to be able to put this ball in place somewhere that can bring Fox home. He has a good track record. He just needs to do it again. That pitch misses upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. But credit to the Yellow Jackets. 3 pitchers in the first inning alone. 5 so far today. If you would have told them they would be within 1 of Mount Union, and in general that would be the game, that this is the closest they get, I don't think they'd believe you. 5 pitchers, and they're down by 1. Fouled away. That little bit of contact bails out Whitty. Mount Union needs him now. BW's offense, they are heating up. They might be too powerful to stop in the next inning. Still 1-2, the pitch. Fouled away again. A great battle in the box by Andrew Whitty. How much more does he have left in the tank? And same can be asked of Walker. Walker sets. Getting ready, fires the 0-2, and they say it's upstairs. A good miss from Walker. That will even us up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. A dangerous take from Whitty, but the right call in the end. Here's the 2-2, and it misses low. We are full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. After Whitty, it goes to Alex Stegman, the shortstop. A prime opportunity, the payoff, it's upstairs. A great battle by Whitty, and that will put runners at the corners with 1 down as we will see Alex Stegman step in. Now batting for Mount Union, number 2, Alex Stegman. Stegman looking for a base knock. If he can do it, Mount Union has their cushion somewhat restored. It would be 1 run, but 1 run is better than none in this frame. First pitch is low. A great block behind the dish by Fix. 1-0 the count. And after Stegman, it is Joe Leonard, the designated hitter. But 2 very low scoring, very tight affairs. The throwback to 1 is not in time, and Fox will remain put at third. It's a chess match. If he steals, do you throw down or do you give second base to Whitty? We will see what the Yellow Jackets do. He will go. Chopped right side. It might not matter. They will think about throwing home. The play to 1. Not in time! Everybody's safe all the way around, and Stegman helps cross run number 5. Great job by Fox. He takes advantage, and he is able to cross. 2 runners on now, 1 down for Joe Leonard. Now batting for Mount Union, number 17, Joe Leonard. Leonard 2 on, 1 down, And Baldwin Wallace, they had a chance to get at least one out. Just took too much time. The pitch. Hit right side, foul. A good first cut from Leonard. Now the question is, can he straighten one out? No balls, one strike. Walker coming set, delivers. Low, just a bit too low. That will even things up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Clouds starting to roll in here at Rafeld Rogers Field. Still, I would say, a pretty clear afternoon. Sunny earlier, but still a pretty good day for baseball. That pitch misses upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike. But Mount Union across the 2 games, 10 runs scored, BW 4. But Mount Union, they still want this win. They definitely need it, as that will keep them firmly atop the OAC. And now they have Whitty in a rundown. As he jukes left, he will now go back. Will he be safe? The play is in plenty of time. Whitty tried getting creative, but in the end, he gets caught out for out number 2. And that will leave Stegman on the base path all by himself. Whitty tried making something happen, but just got a little bit too antsy on the base path. So we will see what the Yellow Jackets respond with after getting out number 2. Here's the 2-1. Fouled away, evening up the count. It is Chris Tesaurus due up next if Leonard can't get on. And if not, that will be the 3rd time out of 4 ups for Tesaurus that he would lead off an inning. Count now full as that pitch misses off the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Leonard. 2 down, runner at first. Mount Union getting 1 run this inning. They lead 5-3. Runner goes, the payoff, and it is low. Ball 4 to Leonard. And now we will see Chris Tesaurus. Now batting for Mount Union, number 9, Chris Tesaurus. Tesaurus stepping at a base hit in his last at-bat. 2 on, 2 down, and a chance to score another run. Chopped right side, right to the bag, and it goes foul at the last second. Kilbane had a chance to make the play, but just not on the scene quick enough. Count 0-1, and given that that would have been out number 3, this is best case scenario for the Purple Raiders. But Tesaurus looking to straighten one out and help Mount Union's cause. The pitch. It is low, 1-1. For Baldwin Wallace next inning, it will be Kilbane, West, and Jelpe due up. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Now 1-2 as Tesaurus misses on 1 down low. Walker doing what he can to settle down the defense. We could still see a new noodle in the next inning for BW. But that remains yet to be seen. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Chris Tesaurus. The pitch. Hit left side, skied out into mid-left field. Marusic gets underneath it and snags it, retiring the side. Mount Union able to make up 1 of the runs, courtesy of Alex Stegman. But that is all. 2 runners stranded as we head to the 7th inning of play in our doubleheader. Game 2, Mount Union up 5-3 against Baldwin Wallace. Your attention now on the mound for Mount Union, number 36, Chase Mayer. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 19, Mally Kilbane. We are back on for the top of the 7th inning in Game 2 of our doubleheader. First pitch, strike 2, Kilbane. 0-1 the count as Chase Mayer, the pitcher from Amherst Steel High School, steps in. Mayer, a sophomore, standing at 5'10", 190. 0-2 the count quickly on Kilbane. But after 2 runs scored last inning from the Yellow Jackets, I think Mount Union, they definitely want to squash their momentum and their confidence here. The 0-2, and that is a hard 90 for Kilbane. That will help BW's cause. A tough start to the at-bat turns positive for the Yellow Jackets. Now batting for BW, number 20, Colin West. As West steps in, an RBI single his last time up, 2 for 3 on the day. Mayer sets and fires. Misses a little bit low, 1-0 the count. But Mount Union needs to be careful. The Yellow Jackets, they want this win, and they are doing all they can to make it happen. And they are doing a very good job of making a comeback. 1-1 the count. But when you have a team like the Yellow Jackets who made it to the Division III World Series a couple of years ago, losing to Johns Hopkins, they have pedigree. They know how to win. And they say no on that offering, 2-1. It looked good from our angle, but once again, I'll say it all year. There's a reason why I'm up here in the box, a little bit warmer than the umpire, but opposed to being behind the dish. Now 2-2, a good pitch from Mayer. He is on it now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, no one down in the top of the 7th inning. Mayer checks and fires. Cranked right side, and it falls for a base hit. The tying run is now on the base path for Baldwin Wallace, and now up steps Brandon Jelpe. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace. Of course they do that to me. They changed. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. 17? Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 17, Reed Fleming. I was about to say Jelpe. We were ready to go, and then Reed Fleming comes out of nowhere. I would be more upset, but Reed's one of my guys from that premier team in the WRCL. He gets a free pass just today. Now, if he does this to me in the summer, I'm telling him and Coach Wisniewski, no thank you. Don't do this to me. But for today, he is allowed. Reed Fleming, a top talent for that premier team. You'll see him, Ryan Gordon, and then Daniel Tome from Mount Union on that team this summer. It'll be a very good group. One of 3 teams that has a lot of Mount Union presence. They do. Stark County does as well. And on top of them, Mountaineer Lumber Company. Beautiful bunt from Fleming, left side. The throw from Viamonte is in time for out number 1. But both the run that makes it a 1-run ball game and the tying run are in scoring position. But Fleming does his job. And it looks like we'll have another pinch hitter. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 26, Nathan Zinn. Nathan Zinn steps in the box in place of Tarquino. A good first name, as Zinn will look to bring home some runs. The pitch. Off the plate, 1-0. Baldwin Wallace in the on-deck circle. They will stay with Petreka. I feel like given the way that he has played, you could not pull Carson Petreka at all. Here's the 1-0. Misses upstairs, 2-0. Mayer still trying to find his rhythm. A lot of good pitchers on the staff for Mount Union. Depending on days, I don't know how much he's pitched this season, but you could see Ian Blood come in. And it's on the corner, 2-1. But this is a very sensitive time of the game for Mount Union. They need to be smart with what they do, but they can't just keep burning through pitchers. They have to find that happy medium. Here's the 2-1. Hit right side and foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes, now the count. But Mayer, he needs out number 2 at the plate. In play, it is a crapshoot on what happens. But Chase Mayer, he can control it if he does get out number 2 here. A big 2-2 upcoming. The pitch. Almost hits him just inside, and we are full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. If that would have hit him, that would have been worst case scenario for Mount Union, loading up the bases for Petreka. A big pitch. Mayer needs it here. Here's the payoff. Skied. It could be playable. Tome calls it off. He goes for it, and he has it! Tome makes the snag for out number 2. A massive play by Tome coming from behind the dish, and he is able to catch the pop-up. And now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 27, Carson Petreka. A big opportunity for the second baseman. 0 for 3 on the day, but plenty of power. Still 2 runners in scoring position, down by 2. The pitch. Petreka cranks it deep to center field. Still going on back, and it will be caught on the warning track. Fox brings it in, retiring the side. Petreka a little bit of power away from a 3-run bomb. Fox tracks it down, and the Purple Raiders survive. We head to the home half of the 7th inning. Mount Union 5, Baldwin Wallace 3, your score on SmeeSports. Baldwin Wallace has made the call to the bullpen. They are bringing on Tyler Zogel, the freshman, and he will be tasked with taking down Tom Costello and Ickes in the bottom of the 7th inning. We are back after the 7th inning stretch. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening, live on SmeeSports. 1-0 the count on the catcher, Tome. The pitch. Bounces in. 2-0 as Tome, I think after that offering, he will take some time, and he will be patient in the box. But Mount Union, a very much scary top of the 7th inning. The tying run in scoring position, but Petreka's fly ball tracked down in center field by Fox, and a ripper into right center field. A base hit for Daniel Tome, and he will take the turn but retreat. A leadoff base knock for the freshman. And now batting for Mount Union, number 1, Johnny Costella. Costella stepping in. 2 walks, a fielder's choice to his name as well. But Mount Union, their offense, they need to provide some cushion to their defense. One showing the pitch. It is down the right side. The flick is just in time from Vogel for out number 1, but that will move up Tome into scoring position. Now batting for Mount Union, number 11, Luke Ickes. Ickes stepping in. He grounded out into an unconventional double play his last time up. I think it was scored a 3-6 double play. It could be 3-4 depending on who covered, but either way, from first to second, as it hugged the line all the way down. Oh, on the count on Ickes. I mentioned it earlier, Ickes, one of many Purple Raiders on the victorious WRCL champion side of the Mountaineer Lumber Company this past season. The pitch from Vogel. Bounces about a good block behind the dish by Fix. Fix prevents any damage. 1 ball, 1 strike. But Mount Union, this is one of their final opportunities to make an impact play and give themselves a little bit of breathing room to work with. But before the next pitch, we will have a mound visit as BW talks things over. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow at 5 p.m. live from Archbishop Hoban High School as the Knights welcome in the Holy Name Green Wave. That will be our first game for the Namers in the regular season. We have already done their green and white scrimmage along with their scrimmage at Independence. This weekend after the WRCL games, the 2 semifinals and the finals, tune on in to SmeeSports as we will have live coverage of the post-game press conferences. After this weekend, our next game will be Sunday at Tri-C, a doubleheader against Hocking College, and then Monday we will be back at Ron Model Field as Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy takes a trip to play Holy Name. A good battle last year, a good battle expected, as that is now a conference clash. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on Ickes. The pitch, and it is low, 2-1. As well, we will be making the announcement of who will be our interns for this summer. Applications still open. You can find that on the SmeeSports website at SmeeSports.com. 2-1 the count on Ickes. The pitch. Swing and a miss. A hefty cut. Unable to catch up. We are evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And after Luke, it goes to Bryson Fox, the center fielder. Vogel looking for out number 2. A big out number 2 at that. Here's the pitch. Bounces in a good block by Fix, but we are now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Can Ickes drive in Tome? A big payoff pitch upcoming for both sides. Vogel coming set on the bump. He delivers to Ickes. And it is outside. Ball 4. And Luke Ickes will take his base. Now batting for Mount Union, number 3, Bryson Fox. 2 strikeouts and a hit by pitch to his name so far. But with 2 runners on and 1 away, Mount Union is in a pretty decent spot, all things considered. A base knock and Tome might be able to zip around and score. It also depends on how aggressive Mount Union is. It is tough to tell right now in this game. They're up by 2. Do they play the long game and hope if they load the bases they can score, or do they go for it all now and risk being out at home? 1 ball, 1 strike. We do have at least a couple of seconds before that decision will be made. If the ball is put in play, we will see it, but at the same time, if we do have a ground ball, we could see a double play. Fouled into the netting, 1-2 the count. And as well, tonight at 7 p.m. on OAC Boxcast, Mount Union takes on Marietta Lacrosse. You can tune in over there. I don't know if Tom's calling the game or not. I know I will not be over there because after this is over, you have a lot of equipment to clean up now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Hit left side. Can it fall fair? No. A good idea from Fox, just unable to get it. And as well, calling 3 games in 1 day on relatively short notice would not really bode well for the Voice given a weekend of a lot of games. I think if you count Friday to Sunday, 5 games. 1-2 the count. Vogel looking for out number 2. He fires. And it is upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A good survival take by Fox. But Vogel, he still fights for it. A good opportunity for out number 2. Mount Union looking for some insurance. And still it misses. Another good miss from Vogel. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Can Fox put the ball in play? If not, and he walks. Bases load up for the top of the order. Vogel sets the payoff, and it is low. The bases are juiced with 1 down. Now batting for Mount Union, number 21, Chris Viamonte. Viamonte steps in. We do have some action in the Baldwin Wallace bullpen. It is Will Henderlich, or Henderlich, either way you want to say it. I believe it is Henderlich. But Viamonte has the bases loaded. Already a base hit to his name in this game. Up by 2. He could double that with 1 swing. 0-1 the count is. He cuts right through that one. After Viamonte, it goes to Andrew Whitty. Then after Whitty, it's Stegman. But BW does have some action in the bullpen. Vogel, his night will most likely end if Viamonte is able to drag in a few runs. But 0-1 the counts on the leadoff hitter. And this is a prime opportunity for the Purple Raiders to really separate themselves from the Yellow Jackets. Vogel coming set. The pitch. And it is low, blocked by the catcher, Fix. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. A very tough time for both sides. Both wills equally strong. It just depends on the occasion, the pitch, the movement. Which side can do better? Skied and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Vogel battling his way back in. He controls this at-bat for the time being. But knowing Viamonte, all it takes is 1 swing of the bat. Vogel sets and fires. And it is low. Viamonte stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A very close call there on the outskirts of the zone. He was able to hang on, just let it go past. And we will see what his approach is. Still down to his final strike, but with an even count of 2-2. It's low once again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The ball did kind of get away from Fix there, but I believe it did hit off of Viamonte on the bobble, so technically that kind of makes it dead for that second. And time is called. I think we have a pitching change with a full count. I have never seen anything like this. In the middle of at-bats, pitching changes. And that appears to be the case. It'll be Henderlich coming in from the bullpen for Baldwin Wallace. Bases loaded, 1 down. Vogel's day will be over. And after 1 pitch, Henderlich could give up a run. The call to the bullpen has been made. 5-3 Mount Union on top on SmeeSports. The call to the bullpen has been made once again mid at bat. It is a full count, 3-2. Henderlich looking for a strike to retire Viamonte. The payoff. And he gets it for strike 3. BW's gamble pays off for out number 2. And a vehement reaction from Mount Union's dugouts. I think looking back to one of Tober's 4 punch-outs against Alliance, I think that's kind of the same spot they called it. I don't know about that one. First pitch is low, but somehow in some way that's out number 2, and up steps Whitty. But Mount Union, they feel hard done by. They feel it should be 6-3. The pitch, and it is missing. And the dugout has some comments on that pitch. 2-0 the count on Whitty. 2 walks in his last 2 at-bats, and before then, 2 base hits. Runs inside. Now 3-0. It is Stegman awaiting the on-deck circle. Baldwin Wallace, at this point, as much as they don't want to do it, it might just be time to lob it in the zone and pray for forgiveness later. And it's in there. 3-1. Mount Union, they do not want to have a full count again. They don't want to relive that at-bat that just went by. Henderlich coming set, fires, and it is low. That is how Mount Union will score their 6th run of game number 2. An RBI walk for Whitty. And now we will see Alex Stegman. Now batting for Mount Union, number 2, Alex Stegman. Bases remain loaded. 6-3 the score. Mount Union a little bit more insurance. Chop left side, and it will curve foul in the end. Fox almost tumbled over the bag just trying to stop. Count now sits at 0-1. If you are just joining us, this is OAC Baseball on SmeeSports. Thank you for joining us this afternoon/evening. As of 12 p.m., we did not know this broadcast was happening, so we were able to get the cameras up and rolling just in time for game time in Game 1. And that made sure that we actually had a broadcast for these games. I believe that the camera that is used for Boxcast got fried due to a storm, so that is why it is here. Here's the 0-2, fouled away. But we are hoping to have that fixed for the next contest here. Obviously, Mother Nature not a friend, but I don't think I've ever heard of a camera getting fried like that outside randomly in a storm. Here's the 0-2. Upstairs. But after Stegman, it goes to Joe Leonard. BW, they could get antsy in the next frame, given the changes they've made so far. I think we will see a couple of new pinch hitters. 2-2 now the count as that pitch misses well upstairs. But this has been a long day at the ballpark. We are, I believe, now just a bit over 2 hours in. Swing and a miss. Henderlich gets out of the inning with no more damage by striking out Stegman. Mount Union walks home a run, but that is all with the bases loaded. We head to the 8th inning at Rafeld Rogers Field. Mount Union 6, BW 3 your score on SmeeSports. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 32, Mason Fix. We are back on at Rafeld Rogers Field for the 8th inning of our second game of the doubleheader. A long day at the ballpark so far. Mount Union victorious in game 1, 5-1, and they lead game 2, 6-3 over the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening live on SmeeSports. 1 strike the count on Fix. The pitch. 2 straight strikes in a row from Mayer. 0-2 the count. Mayer had some struggles in the 7th inning, but 2 pitches into the 8th, he appears to be settling on in. Down the left field line and off the base. How unlucky for Viamonte. It is a leadoff single for Fix. The base graciously gives a base hit to Fix. Wow. A good bit of hitting. He used the right spot and used it perfectly. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 36, John Pensteris. Now Pensteris steps in for the visitors. 1 on, no one down. At third base, playing tricks on Viamonte. He did all he could over there, but when it gets that ramp almost at third, there's only so much you can do. 1 strike on Pensteris. And it is in there, 0-2. Just like last at-bat, 2 great pitches in a row from Mayer. This time, he hopes Lady Luck doesn't come in the form of a base knock. Fix getting his lead over at first. The pitch misses upstairs. A good take from Pensteris. 1-2 now the count. But Mount Union, as I mentioned a couple of times, looking for win number 10 in OAC play and win number 13 in a row. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Mayer gets the punch out for out number 1. A beautiful pitch, and that will be his first K of the afternoon. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 31, Sean Kalenic. Sean Kalenic now steps back in for the Yellow Jackets. On the day, an RBI single, a fielder's choice, a double play, and a ground out to his name. 1-0 the count. But this is what you wanted to see in this game. A good old-fashioned Division III rivalry game. And it has lived up to the hype in game number 2 thus far. Mayer's offering is low, 2-0. But even though there is a 3-run discrepancy, this game has felt a lot closer. Just like last one, you erase 1 inning of offense from Mount Union, and it's a tie game. The pitch. It is in there, 2-1. A good get right on the mound from Mayer as he will look to keep things rolling. Still a runner at first base, one down. For Mount Union in the next inning, Leonard, Tesaurus, and Tome due up. The pitch. It is in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Very good work on the mound from Mayer. A good recovery as he is 1 strike away from his second strikeout in a row. Mayer sets and fires. Almost there, just off the plate, and we are full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A big payoff pitch upcoming from Mayer with Marisek in the on-deck circle. Mayer sets the payoff pitch. Hit into shallow right center on the edge of the grass. Stegman from short makes his way across to make the out for out number 2. A weird play. It's second base's ball, but Stegman floats over and snags it. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 45, Joey Marusik. Marusik now steps in. 2 down, runner at first base in the top of the 8th inning. It's go time for BW's offense. First pitch, somehow not in there. 1-0 the count. That looked pretty good from up here, but they say no in the end. Mayer checks the runner and fires. Right down the pipe. That will even up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. A good battle in this game. Mount Union, they will look for a little bit more insurance in the final frame that they will hit in, most likely. A good crank into left center field. Manageable. Ickes gets underneath it and retires the side. A hard hit ball, but the range of Ickes, that ball never had a chance to fall. BW, they get a leadoff single by the graces of the third base bag, but nothing else. Middle of 8 in Alliance. The Purple Raiders lead this one 6-3. Welcome back to Rafeld Rogers Field on the campus of the University of Mount Union. Bottom of the 8th inning about to get underway with Leonard, Tesaurus, and Tome due up. The first pitch is in there, 0-1 on Leonard. If you are just joining us, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. The pitch, and it will be a ball on the outskirts, 1-1. It is still Henderlich on the bump for BW. He came in a very controversial call, 3-2 the count, and he was able to fight his way and get a strike on his first offering, getting it out instantaneously. 2 balls, 1 strike. Henderlich sets and fires. Swing and a miss. Leonard couldn't time it right, and now the count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Baldwin Wallace trying to keep the Mount Union offense at bay before the Purple Raiders will be on defense one final time. 3-2 the count. But BW, they would need an explosive 9th inning to make a comeback in this one. But it is still not out of the realm of possibility. Here is the payoff pitch. Chopped into the air. It's going to hang over third, and it is caught by Tarquino for out number 1. Or excuse me, it looks like they made a change over there. So that, I think, is Petreka moving over. So Petreka's over at third now, and Herzola's in the game at second. Now batting for Mount Union, number 9, Chris Tesaurus. No one on, 1 down. First pitch is in there, 0-1 on Tesaurus. But the lefty trying to break down Henderlich. The pitch. And it is in there, 0-2. Looking at the rest of the infield, the rest should still be the same, but Terzola in at second base, and over at third, it is Petreka. Here's the 0-2. Line right side, and scooped by Kilbane! He makes the play for out number 2. What a web gem. A heater, but still snagged just in time. Now batting for Mount Union, number 32, Daniel Tome. Tome stepping in, a base at his last time up. Base is cleared, 2 down. First pitch is in there, 0-1 to Tome. For BW next inning, it will be Kilbane West and Jelpy's replacement, which was Fleming. We will see if it still is him. Is due up. That pitch low, 1-1. But Tome looking to potentially spark a 2-out rally for the Purple Raiders. If not, Mount Union's offense throughout the prior 7 innings seemingly has done enough to seal this one. But still 3 outs, 3 looming large outs remain for Baldwin Wallace. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Tome. Henderlich sets and will fire. Hit foul left side. It could be playable, but Petreka on a dive, not enough to get there. I think at that point you have to applaud the effort from Carson Petreka. He goes over there, he tries to dive. As a former baseball player, I think sometimes you know the play can't be made, but you try and dive to make it look a little bit closer, or just to be cool in my case sometimes. I mean, if the uniform didn't get dirty, you didn't play hard, so you had to do it somehow. Somebody had to do it. 1-2 the count. The pitch, chopped foul right side. And it could snag in the dugout by an unnamed Purple Raider. Don't see who that was, but somebody in the dugout may have earned themselves some playing time. Albeit in a very small and a very particular sample size. Still 1-2, the pitch. Cranked by Tome, right side, still going on back. And it will be caught well in front of the warning track to retire the side. A good swing from Tome, but not enough power to clear the fence. BW down to their final outs. They will look to make a 3-run comeback when we return. This is OAC Baseball on SmeeSports. Potentially the final half inning of our doubleheader. 6-3, Mount Union on top of Baldwin Wallace. And the first pitch from Mayer, a heater upstairs. 1-0 the count. It is Kilbane, West, and Jelpe due up this frame. Jelpe, I don't think we will see hits. If the substitution remains the same, it would be Reed Fleming. 2 balls the count on Kilbane, who had an excellent play in the inning just gone. Now 2-1 as Mayer has a good get-right offering. But Mount Union looking to seal the deal here and get yet another win. This will be number 13 in a row, and that would sit them atop the OAC 10-0. 2-2 now the count. And overall 17-6. Not too shabby for the Purple Raiders. Meyer coming set, looking for out number 1. He fires. Hit awkwardly off the bat into right center, and it will bloop in no man's land for a leadoff single. A good bit of hitting from Kilbane, awkwardly off the bat, but it gets the job done. And now we have to make sure that from here on out, everybody who is expected to hit will hit, because we will most likely see some changes. But this one the same. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 20, Colin West. West will stay in the game. It just depends who they put in the on-deck circle, and that is Harrison Johnson, the senior. First pitch strike, 0-1 the count. Johnson would be the tying run, so it is paramount for Baldwin Wallace that they put as many bodies as they can on the base path. The pitch. A great block by Tome. He keeps it close, and that will keep Kilbane home at first. The blocking of Tome has been tremendous all afternoon, and you have to give him credit. This is the 18th half inning that he has gone out and caught today. No breaks, no nothing. Knees of steel. Swing and a miss. A good elevation from Mayer. Count now sits 1 ball, 2 strikes. You can tell Mount Union, they are enjoying this campaign. Something is different this year than in years gone by. Something has changed. The pitch. It is in there for strike 3 looking. And that is out number 1. The Purple Raiders 2 outs away from sealing the deal. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 10, Harrison Johnson. 1 runner on, 1 down. A double play ball seals the deal. It is the senior Johnson. The pitch from Mayer. First pitch elevated, 1-0 the count. But Mount Union, if they win this one, which it looks like they will, they pretty much booked their ticket to the OAC tournaments. Still not confirmed mathematically, I don't think, as a lot could still happen. But for all intents and purposes, they pretty much are in. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. And heading into today, still many people gave the edge to Baldwin Wallace. Mayer fires, and it is low. 2-1 the count. After Johnson, we will see who is in the on-deck circle, and it is Grant Mitchell. 2 balls, 1 strike. Meyer back to work, will fire, swing and a miss. A high heater right by him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mayer trying to get out number 2. He comes set and fires. And it is in there! Strike 3 looking! 2 straight Ks in a row. And Mount Union can sound their final countdown. Mayer, nerves of steel. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 23, Grant Mitchell. It is Mitchell, the senior from Avon High School. He is the final line of offense for Baldwin Wallace. The pitch. Fouled away. 0-1 the count. But Mount Union, they look to improve to 17-6 on the year. 10-0 in OAC play. And now it looks like BW pulling out all of the stops. We will have a pinch hitter mid at bat for a pinch hitter. Wow. Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 2, Dennis Neurider. It is Neurider coming in, 0-1 the count, and we are now making changes mid-at-bat for the batter. I don't think I've ever seen this happen. First of all, the pitching change mid-at-bat, it's rare. I don't think I've ever seen it in a game. But to see the batter swap out like this without an injury, I have never seen anything like this. The 0-1 fouled away, and BW is down to their final strike. A lot of moving pieces in this doubleheader. The Rider and the Yellow Jackets down to their final strike. Mayer, he will come set. The pitch, line right side, and it is through. BW hangs on for now, and we will see Carson Petreka step in. Petreka, he has power. He has home run power. Can he do it? Now batting for Baldwin Wallace, number 27, Carson Petreka. Petreka, he now is the last hope of BW's offense. A tough play upcoming for both sides. The last out of the game is always the hardest to get. The pitch from Mayer, and it is right down the pipe. 0-1 the count. Mayer guns a-blazing, giving Petreka a beautiful pitch. But in the end, he lays off of it. 0-1, 2 runners on the pitch. Sky, this could do it. Popped over to Costello, and it falls. The bases will be loaded. The throw to 2. It is in time, and that's how the ball game ends. What an obscure way to end it, but Mount Union wins it 6-3. Wow. An error from the first baseman, Costello, and somehow, in some way, the play is made at second. One heck of a relay, and that is all she wrote. We will step aside for 1 second and be back on to announce our player of the game.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation. We will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Back into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
And there's another one. It's back to back Jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. Needs a point, and it's alive. Hanson pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable. Well, accidentally the intro played at the end. You get to see that beautiful graphic one final time along with the final before everything pops back to normal. Just waiting 1 second for that to happen. And there we go. Your final score from Rafeld Rogers Field, Mount Union 6, Baldwin Wallace 3. A lot of candidates for player of the game, but Alex Stegman, 2 RBI hits in this game. He will be our player of the game. Mount Union domination, 10-0 in OAC play. Winners of 13 straight. The Purple Raiders seemingly unstoppable as of late. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in today on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Not what we expected to happen this afternoon, but when the call came, we did not turn it down. Boxcast still not working, so we will hopefully have that fixed for the next game here at Rafeld Rogers Field. There is also a chance that game is on Big Time Sports, which I believe it is on Saturday, so you can watch the game there. But Mount Union, all smiles and celebration from them. To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and at SmeeFist2024 on Twitter, and subscribe to the SmeeSports YouTube channel and enable push notifications to be notified when we upload or go live, trying to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. So if you are new, go down below and subscribe. It costs nothing, and it greatly helps out our efforts here at SmeeSports. We will be back on tomorrow at 5 p.m. on the campus of Archbishop Hoban High School as the Knights take on the Holy Name Green Wave and an OHSAA baseball clash. Join myself and Cameron Gazzo on the call for that one. But that will do it from Rafeld Rogers Field. Mount Union wins Game 1 5-1 and wins Game 2 6-3. I've been Nathan Smee saying so long from the University of Mount Union, and we will see you next time.